Hello, everyone. So today we're going to be talking about Twitter censoring Sidney Powell on her court filing links exposing the massive fraud that the Democrats have done. Now, Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter, he really does look like he cooks meth in a basement in Portland. We're not really too surprised by anything that Twitter does at this point. These are basically activists running social media platforms. Look at him and tell me that he's not on something. Look at this man. And for everyone that doesn't understand this situation, this is CEOs of social media platforms taking it upon themselves to censor legal documents that are of public record. Understand that these documents on Twitter aren't the only place to get them. This is public records. But they don't want the average Joe, the average schmo, to find out what they're being told is BS. There's a reason why all the media outlets out there sound the same. It's not because they come to the logical conclusion. No one ever comes to the logical conclusion and agrees together. If they do, it's too much of a coincidence. And we here at Dang It Don, we don't believe in coincidences whatsoever. Stuff happens for a reason. Honestly, at this point, Jack seems more like an enemy of our country. He doesn't seem like a person that has our best interest at heart. When you're talking about censoring what you choose to censor so that the mass of people that follow you don't see what you don't want them to see, that is the basic premise of all censorship. And you Democrats out there, you may be listening in and saying, oh my goodness, this crazy person. But one day it could be you. One day maybe you're sitting on a platform somewhere with your own channel and you want to speak out about something. And Twitter or Google or Facebook or any of these social media sites say, no, you can't talk about it. Your channel, which has grown tremendously over the year, we're going to get rid of it. We're not going to even give you a warning or a strike. We're just going to take it. How would you feel? And again, you argue the premise, well, if you were talking stuff like that, we aren't doing anything but talking. And the irony is, we're not allowed to even do that. People like Jack will stifle your voice as long as the right people are paying him to do so. Twitter, Facebook, you can't escape the reality. Anyone who saw the tens of thousands of people who came to Trump rallies and then went and watched Biden, who wasn't able to attract 50 people, thought Biden won the election by millions. If you honestly believe that, you are an idiot. Jack Dorsey is just another part of the criminal political scheme. You can see it every day. Pay attention with your own eyes. Pay attention with your own ears. These people are trying to direct the thoughts of the American people. You're saying a person who had a literal cult following. People love Trump. You're saying that man got beat by Joe Biden, and furthermore, what you're saying is that Joe Biden got more votes than rockstar Obama, the Democrats' numero uno guy. You're telling me that Joe Biden got more votes than Obama? We have a hard time believing that. We wonder why there are counties in different states that have more ballots cast than they have registered voters. And they have more registered voters than they have legal voters. No fraud there whatsoever. It's all just show me proof, show me proof. And we have been showing these people proof, and it just doesn't stick. They just don't listen. When you try to put proof in somebody's face and they keep on walking away or they won't look at it, this is the kind of people that we're dealing with. They've already made their mind up. There's nothing that anyone can do to make any of these Joe Biden voters feel anything different than what they already do. We argue that those same people are the type of people that would literally censor you, that would take your channel and destroy it, all because they just don't like what you're saying. They are the same people that would go out and say, oh, well, it's okay to show this violent film to children, but then adults can't talk politically between the two of them. A group of people talking politically on a social media platform is somehow not okay. It makes no sense that you go out and you say you hate Trump, all these vile things about this guy, But then actual court records are to be banned on your channel because they look bad. They're to be banned on your platform because they look bad for your position. What's next? When reality does actually hit and Joe Biden isn't the elected president and the Democrats are indeed found out in a court of law to have done massive fraud, are the news outlets going to come out then and admit that they've been on the bandwagon this whole entire time? Are they going to come out and say the truth? No, neither one of those things are going to happen. They will cover their tracks and they will make sure that you, as a person in the United States, screw being Democrat, screw being Republican, screw being anything else. You in the United States, if you pay taxes and you work here or one or the other, you are a United States citizen. And I've got to tell you, even if you're on their side, you don't understand, but you're not on their side or they're not on your side. If you believe that things should be censored, then maybe you deserve to be on that group. But understand, they can do this stuff to you one day. Maybe your opinions change. Maybe the way you think about the world changed and you won't be allowed to talk about it. Is that fair? So many Democrats we run into today are very, very young. They don't have any children. They have no responsibilities that we can speak of. And maybe one day when they become older, and in many cases that's what happens, people just like ourselves here at Dangadon, you were mildly Democrat and you went right-leaning because the Democrats left you in the dust. Their ideologies don't work with yours. It's not a tribal thing. It's not, well, we like this team better. That's for football. That's for baseball. This is for the whole ball of wax, folks. If you vote in somebody like Joe Biden that could kick the bucket within 5 months of his possible presidency, then what are you going to say about Kamala or however you pronounce her name? What are you going to say about her when she's railroading everyone to pay reparations, when she's causing bills that are going to hurt Black America? What are you going to say then? When she stokes the fire of racial division, just like Obama did, what are you going to say then? You don't get a vote whether she becomes president or not. You just get that. Pelosi even signed a bill for the 25th Amendment to make it to where if a president is found having any kind of mind-altering substances, which could be labeled as anything, then they can be booted out of office. That wasn't prepared for Trump. By the time that would have went through, Trump would have been off of his COVID treatment. So that wasn't prepared for Trump. That was prepared for anyone else in the future. And guess who is supposedly going to be in charge in the near future? But we digress. The election is not over. All of these media outlets are painting this picture as if it is, as if it's a foregone conclusion. What is it, media outlets? Is it he won, period, end of sentence? Because you've been backtracking. Slowly but surely you've been backtracking. 1 minute it is for sure a foregone conclusion. He has won, period, end of sentence. Oh wait, we have to check with the Electoral College. Now all of a sudden they're not done. But all the numbers look so much in Joe Biden's favor. And we've gone from all of that to it be laughingstock clown shoes situation where the media is trying to point this finger at Donald Trump being this bad, evil, stupid guy. But the irony is he's following due process. This is all part of a system that was made this way well before Donald J. Trump ever showed up. And if he wants to contest the election, then golly gee whiz, he has the right to do so. If he feels he was any kind of robbed, he has the God-given right, the American constitutional right, to double check that these votes are congruent, true, and the system itself is reliable. Because right now you have a system where an epidemic has caused massive different situations within each precinct, within each area. They want everybody to be at 6 feet distance and even more, depending. We listen in on videos where they're talking to people on how they're going to be doing the votings and everything else before it gets started. And they're saying that no one can walk up to you within 6 feet. And if we put a wall behind you, then they can't walk up behind you within 6 feet. It's one of the reasons why the tables were placed so close to the walls in some districts, because they knew no one could go behind them and see what they're doing over their shoulder by just simply getting 6 feet to the wall. This Cooties 19 has been used by authoritative Marxists, communists with ideologies that are not American that they wish they could implement, and they're trying very hard. The World Economic Forum even came out saying so much as, we are going to make sure that you have no money, but you'll be happy. And that we're going to use this Cooties 19 epidemic to reset everything in your country, to reset globally everything. And everything is going to be perfect and so in unison and so working together. And how much of that sounds communist? If you want to look for the world as a utopia, maybe you are a communist. There is no such thing as a perfect world, folks, which communism is the very definition of. They want to say that communism, by definition, means the perfect world, but we exploit the notion and we say, no way. There is no such thing as a perfect world. There is no single solitary heaven on earth that human beings can all agree on is perfect. If somebody likes chocolate and we like broccoli and we go to a heaven that has nothing but chocolate, then it's not heaven to us. It's heaven for the other guy, but it's not for us. And that's communism in a nutshell. The idea that the media outlets will portray this idea that people like Joe Biden are doing an excellent job. You will never hear them say anything negative about Joe Biden ever. And ironically enough, the people that they don't obviously like, they can talk bad about for 4 years. How much do you want to bet no matter what Joe Biden's idiotic mumbling will get him, when he posts something on social media, it's not going to be taken down? Between him not being man enough to actually speak like a man, because that'll get you in trouble on Twitter and Facebook and everything else too. And furthermore, he won't actually act like a human being. Everything is going to be designed to make him look good. He has his own ghostwriters for Twitter, we have no doubt. He's not writing his own stuff. We can rest assured, and even the Democrats out there listening, we can be sure that Donald Trump wrote all of his tweets, or at least the vast majority of them. And whether or not you hate Donald Trump, or hate the Republican Party, or hate the Democrats, or want to get rid of the liberals, or you want to attack conservatives, or you hate everybody, it doesn't matter, because if you love America at all, if you love your freedoms, you need to get off your laurels and protect the First Amendment, whether or not it takes the Second Amendment to do so. Because if you don't protect your ability to free speech, these media outlets will control everyone's life. Like a pack of sheep, like a pack of lemmings. They will drive you off a cliff and you won't even see it coming. Because what they say is supposed to be the absolute truth. And if you believe these things, then you're like the rest of these sheep out there. Anyway, you folks have a wonderful afternoon, a good night, a good morning, whichever. Please like, share, and subscribe. We really do appreciate that around here. Also, drop a comment down below. We like to talk with you. We like to pick your brain. And if you have any ideas for new videos, please drop the line down below. Also, don't forget to hit your notification bell. If you don't hit your notification bell, sometimes you're going to have a problem getting our videos. God bless each and every one of you. See ya.